Hut Hut Pod. Welcome into the Bro Force Squad podcast, where we are doing a movie commentary on The Replacements. I'm the mad scientist, Brian Banner, and I'm high as balls right now. But to prove I'm not a stupid stoner, I read books about movies so I can talk down to people. We have our movies pause at roughly the 11-second mark. We are downloading this movie off YouTube illegally and Amazon. Warner Brothers Pictures is fully up. So while you get there, I'm going to introduce you to a couple other people who probably can't read. First, let's bring in the enforcer himself, Matt Geiger.
Thanks, Brian. I don't know how long I can stay on the pod. I'm so incredibly fat that my blood pressure is reaching. I can actually, if I look at my arm, I can see it, like my pulse. And also, I just started thinking about Doritos, and it's really distracting me. So I'll be on for a little bit, but honestly might have to duck out halfway through just because of that. But you'll understand. I'm like the sumo wrestler guy in this movie. If I lost 100 pounds, that's what I'd look like.
Sorry, I wouldn't listen to anything you said. I just read the entire book of Top Gun before it comes out in December. Next, let's bring in the self-entitled most important bro on the pod, the mayor, Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I just want to remind everybody that I'm divorced to Rachel, but I still love you. So come back to me. I'll pay for another wedding. Don't worry. It's fine. Back to you.
All right, just took another hit on my bong. 11 seconds, Warner Brothers fully up. The Replacements football movie. Press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
So can we be ourselves again?
Yeah, do you think we were too easy on it? Maybe we should bring our wives and girlfriends in. They would probably just destroy us even more.
I have no desire to cry tonight. It's fine.
I was going to say, be like, do you guys even like us? If you have not listened to our podcast before, what we were doing there was a little bit where we were pretending to be each other, like we're replacement people. Yeah. But now to the movie, because I don't think
typically we don't really have fun on this pod. We're pretty serious, so we just decided to shake it up a little bit. Is there anything more bro than just living on a boat because you can't afford rent? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, why women have this weird attraction to, like, they either want you to be super rich or not be like homeless, but this.
Yeah.
Like if he's sleeping in a gutter, then it's sad. But if he's living on a boat, even if he doesn't have a choice, women are like, there's something liberating about that. And he's lucky because no woman will ever want to marry him, so he can just be single the rest of his life.
Well, Jeff is a certain type of woman. I mean, we're going to meet her later, but she's a former stripper turned cheerleader. I mean, it's not like, her daddy owns a Fortune 500 company or anything like that.
Well, now she's basically in middle management because she's in charge of the cheerleaders,
That's true. She's like basically the manager at Hooters that slept with the GM, and now she's a manager. So it all works.
Is there any more common lie than the manager at a Hooters saying, look, I don't like to get in my employees' drama, but...
he just got drunk one night and threw that Shane Falco All-American team out of the water or something.
And he was like, still got it.
He's in great shape to hold his breath this long. Just saying.
He's Shane Falco.
He practices every day, I guess.
Look at him read that safety. You see how he looks off the safety, Matt? That's what I've been telling you to do.
This story is so great.
I do love this. Oh, wow. I forgot Madden and Summerall are in it.
Of course they are. They're like it's like Monday Night Football crew.
For people at home, I do a thing during our movie commentaries called Horns Fun Facts, where a lot of times I'll bring up other actors up for certain roles. And I got to tell you, for The Replacements, it was slim pickings out there.
A little late.
It's fine.
So I only got 4. And one of them is actually really great. I'm going to save it for later. But there's our girl right there. Sometimes the middle managers have to get in the kitchen and fry up some eggs too, Matt. So that's why she's on the sideline.
She's hot. Don't get me wrong.
So this is based on true events, right?
So glad you asked.
This actually happened, Jeff, in the 80s, right?
Yeah, so my first fun fact, though the film is not supposed to be connected to the actual 1987 NFLPA strike, there are some similarities between the depiction of the Washington team and the actual Redskins team. A couple. Number one, The teams played by Washington in the film mirrors the team the Redskins played during the 1987 Scab Games, including a Dallas team where all the regular starters crossed the picket line and returned. Like, that's just unfair.
It's the Cowboys of like, that's like Ed Too Tall Jones, and like, I mean, these are like Hall of Famers too.
Yeah. Number 2, Shane Falco wears number 16, and the Redskins replacement quarterback Ed Rupert, who played college ball at Louisville, wore that number. And number 3, the Redskins did have a player named Tony Robinson, who I guess is also in this movie, who had just been released from prison prior to making the replacement team. The film depiction features a player who's on work release to play for the team. Remember, that's like that really scary dude on defense?
Yeah.
Who they like take out of handcuffs so that
What was the dude in jail for? That's what I want to know.
Well, you mean allegedly was he in jail for?
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
usually sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, any movie where Gene Hackman is a coach, I think has a pretty solid track record, right?
Yeah, and also I love that. I mean, sports movies sometimes get crazy and fictitious. I mean, this never happens. An owner never talks to a coach, another coach about hiring him next season when the coach on the field is going like 6-10. That never happens.
Hell no.
no. It's totally unrealistic.
This is so great casting with Hackman, which, I mean, Hoosiers, obviously. Have we done anything with that movie ever?
We did a broback on Hoosiers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be an interesting commentary to do because it has every sports trope ever. Best player doesn't want to play. You got to beg him.
Jimmy Chitwood.
It's like, if you shoot that much hoops, like, why wouldn't you go out for the high school team that obviously you'll make? Like, it makes no sense.
You're wasting like 90% of your free time if you're never going to actually come out for the team.
That'd be like me putting every morning before before work, and then Thurman asks me, "You want to play golf?" No, I don't play golf. Like, well, what are you putting for then?
So these scenes were actually filmed in Baltimore. So this is depending on, I believe this was actually the year the Ravens won the Super Bowl. This movie was released in 2000.
It was in 2000, yeah.
Yeah.
They have blue stadium or blue chairs. That's interesting.
I guess you could say the hue. It's purplish hue.
Yeah. And this is the grandpa from Problem Child.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I recognize him from something.
Yeah, I've been trying to
some other
place him.
stuff too. But...
We've all had this speech, like your manager at Applebee's tries to get you to come back. You're like, I'm not gonna do it.
And the coach is like, listen, I'm gonna have to do it my way if I come back.
What was the Bill Parcells line? If you want me to cook, you gotta let me buy the groceries.
The groceries. It's fucking great. Like, you want me to make Italian, but I'm not buying the groceries. You have burger and, burger buns. Like, what? How am I supposed to make Italian out of that? I can't.
This is an eerily similar situation to the Dallas Cowboys because the owner's like, look, bro, I'm going to tell you whatever you want to take the job, but I'm about to die. So if I think I can interfere and make us better, I'm going to do it.
And this team's called what? The Generals or something?
Renegades?
No, it's not the Renegades. It's something like patriotic, I'm pretty sure. Which I don't want to get into that, but it always baffled me that the Washington football team isn't called like the Senators or the Generals or something like that.
Meet Jon Favreau. This is because I hadn't seen Swingers at the time. This is the first thing I ever saw him in.
Yeah, me too. And he's in really good shape too.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite characters in this movie. How the bridge of his nose when they start playing football is always bleeding. Clifford Franklin.
The only thing I knew this guy from was 7-Up commercials.
Yep.
Too.
Yep. 7-Up yours. It's a classic trope in these movies, though. The fast dude but he can't catch anything.
I hate that trope. I mean, sometimes it is true. Darius Hayward-Bay, Raiders, great.
So they did all that because that dude stole like a Twinkie or like a Hostess?
Yeah.
And he drops it, then he fucking...
ruins the merchandise anyway.
This is a great, I don't know, what do we call these scenes? Like basically like roll calling out the cast pretty much, like Suicide Squad does.
Suicide Squad should have done it. I love the offensive lineman brothers. Faison Love is the one on the left. He's in like all the Vince Vaughn movies.
Which is true too, man. Just because most of these guys, when they wash out of football, they either are people that, bartend tend or something like that, or they go pro wrestling.
But this is my favorite character, Nigel Gruff.
If
We
he's
need
not your
Thurman on
favorite
for
character,
this.
you have bigger problems.
What'd you say, Banner?
I said if he's not your favorite character, you're not a human being.
I pissed it all away, Shane.
I mean, I like Keanu in this. I mean, this is the perfect
Well, I mean,
role for
aside
him. This is
from
so
Shane
his
Falco.
speed.
Yeah.
Keanu's very quickly turning into Swayze's our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Keanu's like Noah, maybe.
It's like New Testament Swayze.
Yeah, he's New Testament Swayze.
Beautiful.
God, it's gorgeous.
He just slept in that fucking boat.
Was it the Sugar Bowl that he won? Is that what the trophies
that
were
he
from?
lost? Yeah, actually.
No, he like got his ass handed to him.
That's
so
what it
apparently he's
was.
going to be like a top 10 draft pick, and he played terrible in it. So then, I guess Jeff, did he not even get drafted? Which makes no sense.
Yeah, because of the one game. I actually have a
Yeah,
fact.
I was like, I mean, I could see you maybe falling out of the first round, but someone's going to take a flyer on you on the second round if you're projected to be a top 5 pick.
So while Gene Hackman convinces him to come back to football, my fun fact about that Sugar Bowl game, according to IMDb, the reason everyone refers to Shane Falco's meltdown in the 1996 Sugar Bowl is because there was no Sugar Bowl in 1996. I don't know why, but this made it easy to avoid having issues with a real player or team. The Sugar Bowl after the 1995 season was played, which was when Virginia Tech defeated Texas, and after the 96 season, in 97, the next one was Florida beating Florida State. So I don't know, Matt, you'll have to ask your dad why there was no Sugar Bowl in 1996. But that's according to IMDb.
Wonder if the BCS something happened that year.
The BCS
Florida State game would have been
Warfel.
who would have been quarterback then?
Warfel.
Yeah.
Who's the
96? Probably Charlie Ward, wouldn't it?
Charlie Ward, right?
Probably.
There should just be beer cans all over the floor of this boat.
Yeah, I'm shocked that there isn't. I mean, it's probably bottles though. He's a
bottle man.
Yeah, he's a bottle guy.
Which typically I'd say near the water, you can't have that, but
nah, it's his boat. He can do what he wants.
How does the coach know that Shane Falco's just fucking docked his boat in the bay in Washington? Kind of weird.
I mean, word gets around, you know.
I guess, yeah.
They go to the same strip clubs from time to time.
There was a Sugar Bowl in 1996. However, it was considered the national championship, so it was considered the Bowl Alliance. So it wasn't actually named the Sugar Bowl because of I don't want to dive into it because of BCS bullshit is basically what it lies down to, and naming rights probably.
Got it. So the guy who plays I can't remember the name of the actor, and even though I have the literal cast list in front of me, I'm not going to reach forward to my computer. But the guy who plays that original quarterback on the team, who like is kind of he's not the head of the NFLPA, but he's definitely like in charge of the strike. Mm-hmm. He pops up in everything, man. Like obviously he's in The Dark Knight Rises. He's the guy who Selena Kyle like seduces. Yep. This isn't too unrealistic. What's up, motherfuckers? Throw one more egg.
He's like fucking gonna shoot him.
I don't really get this anger. Like, you don't want your job. They're offering it to me. Like, what do you want me to do?
Are those fans? Are those fans throwing it at him?
No, the players.
Those are players.
Players.
And like, what do you
if you take my spot?
Yeah, because if me working at 7-Eleven is a danger to your job, then you probably shouldn't have your job anyway, to be honest. You just hold up the Bible.
I mean, it's sad but true, but I mean, if this ever happened to replacement players, it's hard to say during COVID times because we're so starved for sports. We'll fucking take anything. But it would be interesting. I mean, just like the XFL, I watched some of those games. Honestly, it was just interesting to see. So, I mean, there's other talent out there.
But imagine like those guys, but slap like NFL uniforms and logos on them. It would just be really weird.
I think it would be weird until they started playing. Then it's just like watching any other game.
The worst thing about it is there's other athletes, like, trust me, there's other people that are great defensive backs out there. The hardest part about it, and the NFL shows you this all the time, is that there's only maybe 18 good quarterbacks in this fucking country.
Roy from
Like
The
the
Office is
XFL's quarterback play was horrendous. It was terrible.
Roy from The Office is the deaf tight end, by the way.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
He looks really good in this.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Roy. And the other thing is, I mean, obviously they're playing him off like he'd be an all-pro tight end. If he was deaf, I mean, you use hand signals, half the year anyway, because you're on the road? Who cares?
Yeah, if anything, it would just be like he couldn't hear the crowd noise. He might be better.
Yeah.
Who was it?
It might actually
Jeff, we
help.
went to college with somebody
Yeah,
that was deaf. Who was that?
Martel Van Zant.
Martel Van Zandt. He said he could feel the vibrations from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, learn sign language. You got to communicate with them.
Nigel
I
Gruff.
love Gene Hackman's got the. Are they just trying to make him Tom Landry pretty much? Just dress like him.
Did Lombardi wear that hat too?
Probably. That was just the style back then, man.
I feel like Hackman wears a hat like that in every movie he's in, though.
He's just like walking through the drill.
We need Thurman on this pod to just settle the debate. So do you want your kicker to be just a raw football player kicker, or you want him to be a soccer player?
I think a soccer player.
Debate.
I think that they're more likely to make a tackle.
Okay, so this is a pretty crazy fact. I'm assuming this is Michael Jace, the actor who plays Wilkinson. This was the fact that I just said. This might be one of the craziest Bro Force Squad facts we've ever had. So Michael Jace, the actor, his character is afraid to go back to prison in the quicksand scene. That's that scene later where they're all talking about like what their biggest fear is. But get this, in 2016, the actor Michael Jace was convicted of second-degree murder in the killing of his wife and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. So method actor, guys.
Wow.
Did she cheat on him? What was she wearing?
I think
there's a lot of questions.
She was texting another guy, so surprised I didn't just.
I'm sure him and OJ get up early every morning, play a quick 18, and then look for the killer. So it's fine.
This guy's great too.
Oh, I forgot the sumo dude.
Remember that scene where he eats like 11 hard-boiled eggs back to back to back?
This sports movie, it's right on the line between ridiculous and factual because, I mean, I love like sports just fucking hypotheticals. Like, what if you just stuck a sumo wrestler as a goalie and like it was just like there's no way to even get a puck in there? He's so fat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't that work? Like,
dude,
why has anyone done that?
I've had that idea for years. There are people on like TLC shows that are fat enough to block an entire hockey net.
Yeah, like the I'm 1,000 pounds chick.
Yeah. And people always say to me, he couldn't move. I'll be like, who said anything about moving? He doesn't even need to come in the locker room between periods.
No shit. And that's all legal. He could just sit in there.
Yeah. And they're like, well, how would you coach him? Like, what do we need to coach him for? If there's literally nowhere for the puck to go, he's already done his job.
If someone did that, though, they'd change the rule.
For sure. Or they make the goal.
Or, like, no one would score.
Well, he just smokes on the sideline. He's basically a parody of Sebastian Janikowski. Although this actually would have been before. When did you draft Janikowski? 2001?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I could argue people that was the greatest draft pick in NFL history. I mean, he played for like 24 years and he scored more points than most quarterbacks because, 3 points against 6 and you're playing for like 20 years. He did a lot of blow and ate a lot of food though.
Allegedly. I love how Falco shows up like an hour late to practice.
You have to.
It's kind of pathetic. These guys are like NFL players and they're just waiting around the fucking gates for these guys to show up.
Well, yeah, what else are they going to do?
I don't know,
this was 2000. The internet wasn't as what it is today. It was still dial-up back then.
How many of us would it take to flip Shane Falco's car?
I would think just 2 or 3. I mean, that's a really small truck.
Yeah, especially with Geiger, if he can get his weight behind it, it'll just kind of go.
I'm working on it. I just bought a Peloton. Right now, it's just my clothes are on
Collecting
top of it.
dust.
But one day,
Yeah. Great rack to dry my blankets on and my towels.
you're not even a has-been. You're a never was. That's
That
like
is,
he
that
came
is
up
a
with
great
that.
burn. That's a great burn. Yeah, there's like a writer. He's like, that was pretty fucking good. You see how much that hurt him? John Favreau is like sort of like the water boy.
Jon Favreau, I'll say it. He's a great actor. I'll say it.
Comedically, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great. Through the misters, he's like,
Look at his hair.
this
Oh my
is just
god.
picked up.
Because you know the misters would be on at practice, obviously.
Can't you see the directors like, listen, with Keanu's hair, the conditioner, we only got 5 minutes to get this fucking. It's like an explosion scene, like on Tropic Thunder. Like we only got 5 minutes to get this scene with his hair and the misters, just perfect.
So Matt, and Banner, I want your take on this too. If this were to happen now, like if the NFL were to go on strike, who would the equivalent of a Shane Falco
Johnny
be?
Manziel.
It would be probably Manziel, right? I was trying to think of somebody though that like
no.
used to be
maybe.
great. Is there somebody that like used to be great and then like they fucked up like one time in their career?
Kaepernick, maybe. If you had Manziel, Kaepernick, and Tebow, I mean, I would watch that. That'd be very interesting. But I want
Vince
Manziel
Young,
liked,
maybe?
and I want him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's fat.
I could see it being
now.
Vince Young.
Yeah. Marcus Vick.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of position players. Like, I'd be interested, Terrell Owens still play. I mean, he's still in great shape.
Cinco.
Yep. Antonio Brown.
He should be in the actual fucking league. But
Yeah, he's still like one of the greatest receivers.
this is where he's like, I see that red and I just want to charge like a bull.
Attack it like a bull,
He of course has like the neck pad because he gets whiplash from when he hits people so bad.
He's just fucking nutcase. It's awesome.
Remember how Brian Cox used to have the neck thing because he would hit people so hard?
For Miami Dolphin and New York Jet, whenever they had like Vinny Testaverde and basically great players from other teams just came to the Jets.
Nigel just never even has his fucking pads on. He's like just here to smoke and walk around the field.
Okay, so there's a lot of tropes that'll get you laid. Like if you have just a white tee and jeans on and you're playing guitar in the back of your truck, that'll probably get you laid. But if you're a quarterback with hair hanging out of your helmet and you're left-handed, a la like Kenny Stabler, I mean that's like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
So what's this
another?
Go ahead, Matt.
One more thing, like. In the 90s, it just seems like we don't have any great left-handed quarterbacks anymore. Like, that's just a great... Like, if someone says, oh, he's left-handed, that's why I was so high on Matt Leinart coming out of college. But you need a great, just cool as shit, good-looking left-handed quarterback in the NFL.
So this happened, like, in the middle of the season, right?
Yeah.
Because doesn't it end with them making the playoffs and the other players coming back for the playoffs?
I think they have like 3 games left, and what do they like? It's like classic movie. Don't they like have to win them all or something?
Yeah, of course they do. I think they lose one, right? Because he throws a pick or something. But
winners want the ball when the game is on the line. These two are just. Can you stop eye fucking for 1 second and we can run this deep post?
In real life though, she's like, I have a boyfriend, but yeah, I'll come over to your ship.
I mean, he kind of has a drug problem, and he hasn't paid me rent in 3 months. But
there's no way it's this hot in Washington this time of year. There's no fucking way, right? They're sweating their balls.
It'd probably be November. Probably not. Indian summer. I don't know.
They're in like southern. God damn it, Matt! They're in Southern California right now.
Of course it's shot in Southern California. Well, I don't know. Jeff said the stadium was Baltimore.
Yeah, it was shot in Baltimore.
It was still shot in the middle of the summer, right?
Baltimore gets fucking hot in the summer.
Right.
And there was a 30 for 30 on the Scab players. I'm pretty sure something. I watched it once.
Yeah, I watched it. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. It was one of the early ones, wasn't it?
I feel like back then it would be so hard to find replacement players. Like now there's like alternate leagues and like you know, you see so much more of every college player. This is another classic trope, like some sort of tryout or audition montage where like
Where
90% of
everyone's
people,
terrible.
yeah, it's like everyone, why would you even show up? This chick would, I mean, she obviously makes the squad, but she would in real life too. Like, we need some trash on the sidelines. Also, what kind of cheerleading tryout do you say, hey, make up your own cheer and just come in and do
Yeah,
it?
I know.
And
You
who
usually
does
give them
it
a
during a
routine
football
and see if they
practice?
learn it.
Yeah, or at least
Is
at
this
the
chicken
same.
anything else ever?
She was like a diet Lori Beth Denberg. Actually, that's a bad analogy because nothing about her is diet. She's like a aspartame instead of sugar Lori Beth Denberg.
Lori Beth Denberg from all that. No, I was talking about Shane's chick. Is she in anything else ever?
I looked her up on IMDb. She was in some legal show. By the way, I love how they're making the sumo wrestler eat a fucking egg roll.
Like, well, yeah.
Like,
Like,
come on,
are
dude.
we just we have just a all you can eat? This isn't Luby's, they usually just bring in like one thing.
Japan and China are two different countries. I don't got an atlas, bitch.
I haven't had sushi in too long. I need to have sushi this weekend.
Yeah, me too. Okay, Brooke Langton is her name. She was in a lot
Is
of.
she still hot now?
She was in the Benchwarmers. She played Kathy Dobson. She still looks pretty good now.
This chick would
Rob
make the
Schneider?
squad just because she would kill you if you didn't.
Let me find a.
Fucking Courtney Love.
This is what she looks like now.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm interested. Okay.
I don't know how recent that photo is, but it's one of her ones on there.
Yeah.
She's held up.
She kind of looks like Evangelina Lilly.
She does. He's always got the hat on too. All right, we get it.
Why do they always have a player too that's like super religious?
Again, you got to check all the boxes.
That was Remember the Titans too, which would be an interesting movie commentary if we did that one.
I think we should stay away from that one.
Let's just let that one chill. Let it marinate for a while.
I heard my man didn't even do nothing. I love the scene.
So you would have been an all-pro if you didn't go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, this is us, allegedly. God, Orlando.
Beat up like 4 fucking cops.
And now we're just going to go off on.
I love how this was funny in 2000, and now in 2020 we're like, God, it's even turned up like 28 more. Like, God damn it, can't we ever just check something off the list in America? Like, okay, we settled that.
He's like, man, I can never come back to this table. How much do you think Pepsi paid for those cups?
They've been all over this.
Okay, the one blonde to the right, wasn't she from Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Was she one of the ants?
It was one of the ants, I think. It looks like her.
I know who you're talking about. What's that chick's name?
It looks like her if she was younger and sluttier.
Or just younger. She looked pretty slutty in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Caroline Ray. No, it's not her.
Okay. It looks just like her, though.
It does. It does.
Honestly, like cheerleaders on the sidelines, like you can always you know me, Jeff. Like I love the high school cheerleading coach that wears way too much makeup, like a Fergie but on more drugs. That really turns me on. So I'm liking this. This is my type of football.
Thinks that she's like still a part of the high school scene.
Absolutely. That's the girl I want to bring into the dance.
This is so ridiculous. Is she mad that they brought in strippers? Because I think nowadays that's like every team's MO. Like, get strippers. Yeah. Wasn't the XFL...
And they're exotic dancers, Jeff. They have a title and a job. Why don't you type in your phone and type in an Uber, and maybe it'll take you to 2020 so you can get a clue.
I'll try and get that done. Do you think they flipped his truck and one of the guys was like, You know what we should? I mean, I like get we sent a message, but you know what we should really do to drive the point home? One of us should spray paint scab on the roof because I don't know if he
Yeah.
knows why we did that. You know?
And also, we should take the sticker off the top of his windshield so he doesn't know when he needs an oil change. He'll totally fuck up his engine. It'll be insane.
Chris, that is crossing a line, man.
Yeah, come on.
fucked
We're
up.
not savages.
You know what that's going to do to his gas mileage? You sick fuck. No, you're right. The second I said it, I wanted to take it back. What do you think his stat line was in that Sugar Bowl game for how bad people talk about it?
I mean, how many picks did he throw? He
That's what I'm
had
saying.
to throw 5 picks.
I'd say, what, 3 or 4?
You got to bench him at that point, right?
Well, I don't know. Who's the backup? It's probably some freshman. You don't want to burn his red shirt.
At that point, you got to try to win the game, you know?
I think they would have made it more realistic if he would have got hurt during that game, and he was kind of like maybe an Elway that is running and throwing or something like that.
Or like,
So then no
remember
one want to take a chance on
McCoy?
him because you took away one of his tools.
Colt McCoy like barely got hurt in that Alabama game, and he came out, and everybody's like, "Dude, you're a pussy." And Garrett Gilbert had to come in. It's like so scared.
Who was supposed to be like the second coming, and then I think went
He had to transfer to FMU the
SMU.
next year. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
he couldn't start
something.
there. Dude, that clipboard of plays. I do not envy Shane Falco tonight.
He's like, should I study my playbook or should I get ass? Well, getting ass will take 5 minutes. Studying the playbook, well, I'll just get ass first. And
And
I'll
his
figure it out.
boat is named Theseus, like a fucking Egyptian god. Wow, that's really impressive.
They make a cute couple because they can get 2-for-1 haircuts since they basically have the exact same haircut.
He would actually have to shorten his. to get-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Which goes after another Keanu movie. Check out our Point Break movie commentary. But Geiger only has one rule in this fucking life, and it's I'll never have sex with a chick with hair shorter than mine. That's my only rule.
I love how she's like, I don't date football players, especially quarterbacks. They're the biggest baby. She has like such a book on dating every different position. He's like, how many of you dated?
I was like,
Yeah,
but
all
you
that tells
date
me is
the
that she's taking a
bartender
lot
at
of dick.
O'Malley's that has a drug problem. That doesn't make sense.
I'm with Banner. I can read between the lines. I know what she's actually trying to say. This is another total trope, and Gene Hackman has done this in Hoosiers, obviously. Like walking onto the field or the court at night when there's no one else there to like
The
reflect on
empty
your.
stadium trope, yeah. Do
Sometimes
you know
I
how
like-
many athletes actually go in an empty stadium ever? They probably just like whatever. They don't care.
No, they would be like hitting up Instagram thoughts right now in their hotel room. They wouldn't be on the field.
What if what if he gets out a tape measure and basically goes from goal line to goal line? He's like, "Yep, 100 yards, just like that Sugar Bowl game where he threw 4 fucking picks. So you should be
He's
fine."
like, also, it took us an hour and 15 minutes to measure the whole field. Like, you could have just made that point in the beginning. We only had a yardstick. Yeah, well, I wanted
Let's
you to
measure from the ground to the top of the goal post.
No,
like, how
I-
does that affect me at all?
I'm not even a kicker. Yeah, nothing to do with me. Just humor me, okay? No, it's 2:30 a.m. I need to go to sleep.
So here's a total stoner idea. Since where we're at right now, and I don't know when this is going to drop, but as right now we have a businessman as a president, I want to take it a step farther. I want to start having actors as coaches.
Actors as
Wouldn't that be
coaches.
sick, Jeff?
That'd be
Like,
cool.
so, like we're Texas Ranger baseball fans. Like, who would you want to take over Woodward? Like right now, like you could have any actor.
Kurt Russell probably.
It'd be fucking sick to
It
have
would be
Kurt
sick.
Russell in the dugout.
It's
And
like the
he's
South Park.
Listen, you're not getting Kurt Russell. I'm playing a coach.
I mean, if he did Herb Brooks pretty well. Like, imagine what he could do to us. Dude, imagine eating hard-boiled eggs before a football game. Oh my God, he'd be ripping ass in the huddle so bad.
Ugh.
Those are hard boiled, right? Like they're not raw.
Oh yeah,
No, those are definitely hard boiled.
yeah.
God, that's so sick.
And he like doesn't even wait to chew one before he puts the next one in his mouth.
There's a couple things you don't eat before you like do physical activity. Eggs is one of them.
I love how they just let Nigel smoke. It's like,
I was
look,
gonna say
you can,
Nigel's still just like fuck everybody. I'm gonna still smoke in here. That's cool,
you
right?
can tell him not to. But
Nigel's
he's
got to be Nigel.
the deaf guy's like, I have no fucking idea what you're.
So when did a suit and tie exit the NFL? Because it was definitely the '90s. No one wore suit. They wore the starter jackets or something. On
Yeah,
the
they
sideline.
were like jumpsuits in the 90s.
Do you remember
Say,
the
like-
Mike Nolan, that Niners coach in like the mid 2000s, tried to bring the suit back? And I think they're the Sentinels, Brian. I just saw it.
Yeah, that makes.
Why
Yeah, that
would
makes-
this wire ever be out there? Like, I don't understand. Did someone like booby trap the field?
I guess. Like, what are they with? Like, is Bane also in the league? He's like, I have a plan.
Oh, the Sentinels! Scabs. I miss Pat Summerall, dude. Dude, that would fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Take out more cheerleaders. Madden and Summerall are the greatest. There'll never be anything close to that ever. Like I love Jim Nance doing football as much as the next guy. Like Romo's good. I love Troy and Joe, but nothing will compare to Madden and Summerall. It's so fucking good.
Because yeah, they were in like every Madden game.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it too, especially as '90s kids, as we just remember them. We probably remember more from video games than we do actual games because when we
I
watch actual
definitely
games,
do.
we're probably like 6. We were 6 years old, so.
Yeah.
But watching games on like ESPN Classic and stuff with them calling it, they have such soothing voices. There's fuck Jeff. Who's the guy, Mr. College Football? Keith Jackson.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. I mean,
sophomore.
I will say, young and fun takes over, but when it comes to announcing, I want the old grizzly veteran that I've seen like 80 million games. If it's a big game, I want like Keith Jackson on the call. I want John Madden, Pat Summerall on the call.
They're like arguing over their spot in the huddle. His brother's like, yo, that's your spot. You got to get that spot. This is so ridiculous.
It reminds me of Jeff in college when we played on our IFT. This is us in the huddle.
Yeah. No, I want to be Banner was actually a great flag football offensive lineman in college, for everyone listening at home. He would draw a ton of personal foul penalties on the other team, and then when he would leak out to catch a pass because everyone's eligible, he could actually move a little bit after he caught it, do a little bit of yak.
Remember the game I got thrown out in?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Oh yeah, there's been multiples. So the intramural one that I was specifically talking about, it was playoffs, and I rolled out like that. I was on the 20-yard line, and they pulled
Like
my
going
flag.
in, or like our own 20.
No, like going in. Like we're
Okay.
20 yards away from having the winning touchdown, and the guy pulled my flag clearly 5 yards out of the end zone, or like I was already in the end zone, like 5 yards into the end zone, and they said I never made it. And I was like, he's standing in the end zone with my flag. That's a touchdown. And they threw me out for arguing. And then I got thrown out of that slow pitch softball game for dropping my shoulder into home plate.
Yeah, that's true.
That one.
You said they shouldn't
Not
have
to
been
be-
blocking the plate.
Yeah, he was
Not to
standing
be-
on the plate.
Not to be that guy, but you can't take off your helmet in the huddle.
It was
That's
a different.
penalty,
It was a
isn't it?
different time, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might not be able to anymore. Those look like old Texas Tech jerseys.
Isn't it kind of unfair that a delay of game penalty they assign to the quarterback? Like, it's kind of on all of us, guys.
Well, I mean, they're the leader.
Shit doesn't roll uphill, Jeff. He's the leader.
Hey, 52's Mike. 52's Mike.
This is where Romo will just tell you the play.
Didn't they tell him to stop doing that because he got it right like every time?
I didn't mind it as
I
much.
loved it. I was so impressed. It turned into a drinking game. Every time he got it right, you would drink.
Uh,
You know how fucked up you get in a night?
Good play call there. First play, naked bootleg with your only quarterback that you have.
Yeah, it's an interesting call, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. Like, what are you doing? I mean, obviously, replacement players, Jeff, you have no clue. What's the first play? A fucking ISO run up the middle is pretty much what it is.
We're running like ISO or dot.
Halfback dive.
I prefer the draw play
Safe
myself.
play gets you like maybe 3 yards at best.
Cover 4, a lot of respect for this quarterback here. This is where Ray Lewis used to like admit that he murdered that guy.
It's like, I killed that guy.
I did it. I fucking killed him.
One thing that is a little ridiculous the way the movies, like every team has replacement players. Why are the Sentinels the only ones who can't huddle and they just tackle the quarterback before they even snap the ball?
Wouldn't you just go to your practice squad at this point?
Yeah, are those guys part of the union? Like, do they have to?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's a strike, a full-on strike, I mean, the practice player, it's like Major League Baseball. If it's a full-on strike, they'll want minor league to strike too, most likely.
You know, Barry Bonds wasn't part of the baseball union.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't an MVP baseball.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't in any of the video games. There was somebody else that was big that wasn't in them either. I don't remember who it was.
Jordan.
Well, Kevin Millar is not in the MVP game also, which doesn't make any sense, but it's like...
Michael Jordan was never in any video games growing up.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant's NBA courtside. The Bulls have a guy named Roster Player who's just like the fucking shit. He's so good.
Best ever.
There's those eggs coming back on him.
Yeah. God, this makes me... Oh, God.
I'm going to do it too.
You guys know
I
anybody
should
like
not
that?
have taken a shot of whiskey right before that happened.
Yeah, there could not have been like a worse 5-second time period during this whole movie to do that. Jesus Christ. The referee's
He's got a good offensive line. They're huge, all of them.
Oh my God, my eyes are watering.
Just look away, Matt. The issue with them is just discipline, you know.
I know, it's like watching the Raiders play. Like if it wasn't for a ton of penalties, they always lead the league in penalties. Like you can,
Don't you feel like you could just run the ball behind like the sumo wrestler, the two brothers, like all day?
You would think.
Like you could get 3-4 yards a pop on that, right?
Well, fuck that. Just give the sumo wrestler the ball. You're getting 3 or 4 a pop.
But I think that running back, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, the religious one, wasn't he like going to be an all-pro and then he blew his knee out? Wasn't like that his story?
Yeah.
Or he might have even played in the NFL.
Which begs the question, how good is he? Like he blew his knee out, so
right.
Isn't there someone you get on the waiver wire that could run a 4.3?
Oh, do running backs need their knees?
Nah.
This is back when running backs were really appreciated, though. Like, you actually needed one that was... I'm not saying that was good, but you couldn't just pick up one on a discount rack that could rush for, 1,500 yards.
Good blitz pickup. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was huge.
Matt, why is every play a rolling pocket? Like, can we just have a 5-step drop and hit, a slant or something? This is so complicated.
This makes no sense. If you're, a new team like this, you're running a halfback dive, you're running a screen, you're running a short slant. It's like the most boring offense ever. You're not doing fucking play action roll out left with the halfback
that's what
running
every
down 20
play
yards
is.
downfield. Hey, I like it though. You gotta let it fly.
If you can pass protect, I mean that's the key.
Why not? Let it go. A field goal? Didn't they just get a first down?
Yeah, you got to. But Nigel Gruff is through his first pack of cigarettes, so he usually needs to get out on the field at this point.
Reese Ifans smoke on the sideline, dude.
You guys know who Reese Ifans? That's Dr. Kirk Connors from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all away, Shane. He doesn't want to put the cigarette out. He's like, "Can you just hold this? I'll be right back." Doesn't even strap up. Fuck it.
Not even tucked in.
He doesn't give a shit.
Falco's the holder?
Yeah, it's a different time.
I don't even think they have a backup quarterback.
He does have a leg on him.
Oh yeah, I mean that's never been the issue with Nigel Gruff.
Nigel Gruff. Fucking here goes Bateman.
Now, how did that drive stall? Because I feel like we were moving the ball.
Yeah,
you know?
they had momentum.
Yeah.
Was it halftime?
Like when you're moving the ball like that, you settle for 3. Like any normal fan would be pissed right now.
Yeah, well, they're down 14-3 at halftime, and
that looked like quite a boot too. That looked like at least a 40-yarder. So you're not even in the red zone.
Honestly, considering they turned it over once, like inside the 10, to just be down 14-3, I would. We get it. She can't spell. It's very funny. And then she gets mad at them. It's a stupid word. Let's pick a different word. So the murderer, is he an outside linebacker?
There we go.
I think he's a free safety. He's probably like a Cam Chancellor, if that makes sense. If you know who that is.
He's a big safety, though.
Pick 6, yeah. You can't.
I mean, if it's the NFL, I mean, most of these numbers are true. So if he's 42, he's got to be like a free safety.
Yeah, he's like a Ronnie Lott.
I'd say he's like a Cam Chancellor, Jeff. I don't know if you know who he is. Maybe you should Google him.
Never heard of him. Nowadays, Matt, you know this. Any coach that doesn't wear a headset on the sideline, I just assume is like a figurehead. Like he has no idea what the plays are.
Jason Garrett just has no clue.
He just claps.
I can't believe he's still the coach.
He's not.
He's not?
No,
that's
he's the offensive coach at the Giants now,
The Giants,
think, for some reason.
About time they put Falco in shotgun. Is this a screen? Jesus, it's a jailbreak.
That's why you don't do the 5 or the 4-step drop. He's just got fucking planted.
Isn't this is when did the water boy?
I love this scene. I thought this happened later, but I love this scene.
Yeah, I think the water boy was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Let me check, because this is the same thing that they do
Water
in the
boy is first. He's basically Bobby Boucher though, just turned up and on steroids.
Yeah, the water boy is 98. The bridge of his nose always bleeding. I wonder if that was like Favreau's idea. Makes
no
you wonder,
one
like,
knew
why
who he was right now. He's just the guy from Swingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's like one of the
head of
biggest directors in Hollywood.
Yeah, what a weird career arc. And then he's just very docile now. It's like a dog. All right, go sit down.
You go sit down, Danny. Okay.
He has so many credits on IMDb.
Have either of you guys seen The Program?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
Which is one of the greatest college football movies ever. If Banner, you should put that on your list this week. It's a very good.
I don't think I've seen that one. The Program.
Yeah, it's pretty serious too. It's really good.
Okay.
Omar Epps is the running back.
Oh wow.
Okay.
What year did that come out?
I think the 90s or late 90s. Changing the play. He doesn't like it.
Uh-oh.
He read Blitz.
He's like, I told him to pass. He's checking off. And what's great is like when you check off, usually you're not checking off. When you check off something, there shouldn't be a formation change, if that makes sense. Am I correct there, Jeff?
No. Otherwise, it's a horrible audible. Then the defense knows you're switching.
So
something.
if you're checking off, a receiver shouldn't have to go to the other side of the field. A running back shouldn't have to change position. You're in the same formation, but in any formation, you can run, pass, screen, whatever. You're in the same formation. You're just basically running to the left. That's all you're doing. So there shouldn't be that much confusion. That's on the coaching there.
Call timeout. And if you didn't have one, you should have saved one.
Red Blitz. Wonder what she thinks. Because you always want the skank's opinion that quote-unquote knows football because her dad watches it.
Also, let's be honest. If they're blitzing, do you really want to run the ball? Isn't that also kind of ineffective?
I think a screen would have sufficed, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
They were sending both middle linebackers, so one
Shane
to run ISO.
Falco, as I call him. My
Skip,
name is
skip,
Skip
skip,
Bayless.
skip. That's unfair,
And
Skip.
in
That's unfair. He read
two-syllable
blitz.
words, I use 4 syllables.
Skip, let me tell you something. As someone who played the game, when you read blitz, you audible. It's that simple, Skip.
Listen here, Skip, from somebody that's played the game with the Denver Broncos, but then I had to go to the Ravens, and I was an offensive player and won just strictly by defense. Let me tell you something, Skip.
I was listed as a tight end, but I could not block for shit, so they split me out about every single play. That'll take us
I
to
love when Shannon Sharp talks golf or baseball. It's so great.
wow, a jukebox. And I don't think it was even like ironically in this bar. It's just like how they used to listen to music.
Yeah, the electronic jukebox where it was actually like kind of like an iPod, I don't think was a thing. Maybe 2010, I don't know.
I had an iPod in high school, so it was like 2005.
Is the lineman just drinking like a whole bottle of Maker's Mark?
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think that's Hennessy, and I don't want to be called a racist, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Dude, these guys like get a fucking life, bro. Like I get
Like,
you don't
what
like
else
them.
are you doing? Why are you at this dive bar?
Aren't you guys supposed to be like the elite of the elite celebrities and you're like following these dudes?
Why are they on strike? Because they want more money?
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah.
So that means they
because
probably already have a fuck ton of
They
money.
want affirmative action and they want to put equality on their jersey. Yes, of course they want more money. That's the only reason. But they're like, oh, hey, you guys suck. You lost by 3 to an NFL team and you're scabs. I'm like, actually, that's not any, like, why should we be embarrassed? This would make way more sense if they got blown out by 40.
And they had a week to practice. That's it.
Also, like, congrats, you're in the NFL and he's deaf. Like, you win. We get it. You don't have to fucking come into a dive bar and. Plus, he's going to be on
I
the
wish
office
the
soon.
quarterback right now would say, you know what? You're going to be out of the league in like a month and working at a paper company. And then Cycly will be like, I told you, every movie connects.
It's all connected.
And he learns how to talk.
He's going to get his hearing back.
Yeah.
No, he just becomes a really, really good lip reader. He drank like the whole thing of tequila, and now he has like a sombrero also. What happened? That's how Favreau's character would be, though. He's like, I'm going to be outside. Let me know if a fight breaks out. Otherwise, I don't really want to hang out
Yeah,
here.
just call me if there's a fight. Other than that, I'm good.
Nigel Gruff is like, dude, I don't even get out of bed unless there's a fight.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a cigarette hanging out of his mouth right now.
He just
He
said
put
on
it
the counter.
down.
Yeah, he said on the counter for the fight.
He's waiting for his bloody pint.
We're all God's children here. Dude, this guy's
religious running back. How close were they to cast Chris Tucker in any of these roles?
They probably couldn't afford him, right?
Yeah, they could. I don't know.
Rush Hour 2, I think, is the next year.
I think Will Smith was thought about. I mean, he looks athletic.
Yeah. He's only played one athlete ever, right? Ali.
Yeah. He hasn't been in any sports movies. I mean, Concussion doesn't count. It's not a sports movie.
Tell the truth. They wouldn't give you an ice pack in jail, bro. It's just not how it works.
They're all bonding here. It's good times.
See the cops. We'll get you an ice pack. Anybody want a cucumber water or anything while you guys are waiting?
So did the pros not have to go to jail? Just the replacement players?
No. They put
The
them.
pros had enough money to bail out already.
To bail themselves out.
There's guys' checks haven't cleared yet.
You think that'd make ESPN if the replacement players got in a fight with the pros at a bar?
Can you imagine hearing that story? I'd be like, what?
I would love to.
I would want to watch that.
I was. I mean, I've heard crazier sports stories, but
This is like the main, like the iconic scene from the movie, you know?
And yeah, and this started the trope that, hey, every football movie we need some shitty ass 60s song to sing the whole time. Remember the Titans did.
This baby there ain't no man. Orlando Jones, I'm surprised he didn't have a bigger career. Not because I think he's like super talented, but he was kind of like everywhere, and then he just disappeared completely.
He's as good as
He
Chris
had that
Tucker.
weird charisma.
Yeah.
Because Orlando Jones, who's what, maybe 25, who's a speedy African American receiver in the 90s, isn't going to be listening to Juvenile or Jay-Z. He's going to be listening to, I don't even know who fucking sings this song. I could look it up, but I don't really care. It's some 70s
It's like
singer.
Aretha Franklin or something.
It's someone like that, yeah. Wait,
It's an Aretha Franklin.
I Will Survive. I think that is Aretha Franklin.
I've never actually been to jail like this. Would they like let them do this in jail?
If you're in a holding cell, I mean, probably. I don't fucking know.
They'd probably get this song playing over the loudspeakers and be like, all right, let's do it from the top.
Shane, you missed your cue right there.
Shane, look, you're a step slow, but I mean, we can't have that.
Look, I understand why we lost the game now.
And of course, their coach
It's
would
such a
bail them
weird
out.
dynamic. We got Roy from The Office, John Wick, the 7-Up guy, the guy that directed a bunch of Disney movies that he remade.
And then the coach is the mayor from Welcome to Mooseport, you know?
Mooseport with Ray Romano. God, I forgot about that movie. And I bet Gene Hackman drinks scotch every night, so he'll forget it too.
Or he has the Michael Caine quote, like, I've never seen the movie, but I have seen the house that it built for me mum. Why is their coach bailing them out? This isn't like fucking Little League. Dude, lawn chair on the boat, that's pretty bro too.
He should be drinking like a High Life right now, right?
Absolutely, yes. Is she like picking him up for practice? It's like,
well, he doesn't have a car anymore.
it's just kind of like, how did he get to practice? Oh, that's right. But they've only had one that they've shown.
Yeah.
And even though his teammates could give him a ride, he's like, yeah, I mean, obviously I want to ride with the cheerleader.
Well, yeah, look, I might be able to get a quickie in the back of the car.
That's pretty bro too, that like bamboo curtain that he has rolled up.
Oh yeah, everything about this is bro.
Dude, someone out there owns this boat that was Shane Falco's house.
God.
That's pretty cool to think about, right?
If anybody knows who that person is, we need to have him on the pod.
Yeah, let us know. Could you imagine being that guy and you take a girl back? She's like, this boat kind of looks familiar. He's like, that's because it used to be Shane Falco's. Yeah,
oh my God.
this
really?
is the one from the movie. That shitty 2000 movie, Get Out. We have nothing in common. I don't date whores. Actually, I think that's all you date. Okay, you're right about that.
He's got to be careful here, though. I mean, she's coming to his boat, but that doesn't mean it's consensual yet.
Oh, now she's like a nurse practitioner too.
Jeff, that's what she went to school for, but then she dropped out because she wanted to be a waitress.
Now, hang on. I would check with the league because this is how Gary Sheffield got busted. He just took some cream and rubbed it on himself. Didn't actually do his research.
It was just it was just cream. Makes no sense.
Also,
why would she go into his back through the sleeve? Why wouldn't she come up the back of the shirt?
That's a good point. Wild yam cream? Yeah, that's basically an aphrodisiac.
Why isn't she rubbing his penis right now?
Huh?
Oh, she will.
Also, she totally missed the bruise. Like, can we, I get that we're trying to be sensual here, but first things first. I mean, it's the moneymaker. Although I guess it's his non-throwing arms. Who really cares?
Is there anything more hot for the first couple weeks and then more annoying than a chick that thinks she knows sports?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like she just decides to stop pretending that she's actually interested in the game. Like once like comfortably dating. Okay, to be honest, I hate football. Well, that would have been nice to know 3 weeks ago.
That's what we need to put on a shirt. I just think it's funny to hear women talk about routes. That's Cam Newton quote.
God, yeah, I forgot he said
Was
that.
like what's he doing? Like what? Come on.
Oh, she left the wild game.
When he's dressed like Daffwing Duck.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. These guys are pathetic. They just fucking hang out at the stadium. This is worse
Like
than
for
like
somebody
high school.
that really doesn't want to play around here a lot. Makes no sense.
Yeah, don't you have like a union rep that should be like actually talking to the league? Because we have nothing to do with the negotiations.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're protesting. Like, don't they have people that protest for them?
Oh, Lamont.
Damn, all that stuff in the bed of his truck. Like, we got this. I've been praying this would happen. I love this. We're the guards, and we protect our quarterback.
I'm surprised Sandra Bullock isn't out here telling about how you need to protect his blind side right now.
And he's like, well, actually, I don't have any more eligibility. And she goes, oh, well, then I'm not really interested in forming a relationship with you.
Pulls out a 9. That's fucking great.
Son of a bitch.
He's suspended for 3 games for pulling that gun out these days.
Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, never mind. I answered my own question. Dark Knight Rises.
Son of a bitch. The other guy's first,
and this,
dude.
that guy's in like Couples Retreat. Like you already said he's in a couple Favreau Vince Vaughn movies, but Couples Retreat's like
he's the manager at the mall.
Oh God, he is. Make work your favorite.
Guys, I have a confession to make.
Favreau
I don't like Elf.
Oh, wow.
I don't like Elf.
I don't agree with that. I like Elf. I don't think Elf needs to be in the same breath as Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation and Home Alone, but I do like Elf.
Well, I remember chalkboards.
Banner, I'll put it this way. You know, a bunch of Christmas movies are shown 24 hours a day. I can watch Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation and Home Alone like the entire day of Christmas. I can't watch Elf. I'll get Elfed out. But I do like watching Elf about 3 times in December.
Well, if you listen to episode, I don't know what fucking number it was. I don't like Will Ferrell. I think he's overrated.
Wow. I know you brought that up. That makes no sense.
I'm not a fan. He makes me giggle every now and again, but as a whole, nah. I think a lot of the movies that he's in that are good, he doesn't make them good. Other people make it good.
As a huge SNL fan, not so much anymore because it's just like weirdly political, not funny political, but I watched him from the start of SML, and he's like one of the best SNL characters ever. Even the same breath as like Steve Martin and some of those guys. Fear. What does that mean to you, Banner?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm not afraid of anything, Geiger.
Really?
That's not true. I don't like snakes or needles.
I'm scared that Warner Brothers is never going to give up DC and we're never going to get a good universe. Keeps me up at night.
Yeah, you should probably just let go of that one because we know it's not going to happen.
just accept.
Yeah, just.
It's like a woman's like, I'm afraid of child trafficking. Well, you just kind of need to accept it because it's probably not going to go anywhere and no one cares. So sorry. I'm not scared of bees.
I'm not really either. I'm not really scared of spiders. I don't know. Bugs don't really bother me. As a whole. You know?
Fucking Flacco. I've never heard this term, quicksand, other than this movie.
Quicksand?
Yeah.
You never watched Indiana Jones or Princess Bride?
No, I'm saying I've never heard the term. Like, I know what quicksand is. Yeah, I've seen that, but how Flacco describes it. I've never heard of it like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, well, I
Me
think
and
he's just
Cycling
like
have had this conversation.
Like
I
it's
feel like
like a
in elementary
sports
school,
thing.
they prepare you like quicksand is everywhere in the real life.
yeah. They make it seem like it's gonna be basically a daily obstacle.
Right. It's that, and you're gonna run into quicksand, and you have to write everything in cursive.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I guess I've never heard of it as like a, I don't know what the term is when you take a term that means I know what quicksand is and use it in everyday life. I've never heard it used other than just like the Indiana Jones trope.
What if one guy's like, I'm scared of, that bitch from last night. She gonna be pregnant. Because
I mean, that's a
Yeah,
legitimate fear.
that's
I'm scared. I'm scared of the Me Too movement that's going to take place in 20 years. I know it doesn't. You're like, well, that's 20 years from now. I was like, but trust me, you'll all get
It'll
it.
come back.
It'll come.
I'm scared that hotel this past weekend had security cameras in the hallway. What? What happened? No, I mean nothing
In
happened.
the elevator.
I saw one, but the light wasn't on, so I don't know. But legally, they have to keep those things charged.
I'm afraid that those flight logs are going to come out too.
Dude, every team in this movie has hideous jerseys, including the Sentinels.
So I might bring up a fun fact, Jeff, that I didn't read or anything, but I'm just thinking. There's no NFL movie or there's no football movie that uses NFL teams.
Except Draft
But there
Day.
is baseball, basketball, golf.
Yeah, Draft Day is the only movie the NFL has ever licensed their likenesses to.
Yeah.
That's why Roger Goodell is made out to be like the Messiah.
So how can they use the Giants and the Cowboys in Little Giants?
Okay, that's different. So my wife asked me about that. We were watching Friday Night Tykes, but like a little league team can be called the Cowboys and use their emblem. That doesn't matter. But it's when they're actually talking about like this is real life, this movie is real life, and this is how the pros act and everything. That's where the NFL steps in, I believe.
Yeah, Banner, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this play.
Oh, this happened.
Oh shit.
Big man touchdown. Barstool will be all over this. Matt, you got to go low. Why are you trying to tackle this dude up high?
You gotta chop block him, take out his fucking knees.
Wait, what?
But isn't that weird that, little big league rookie of the year, I mean, Eddie for the NBA had players even, and also their jerseys and stuff.
Well, if you do it right, it's just a fucking 2-hour commercial for your league.
Yeah, the NFL never does that, which is interesting.
That reminded me of that.
Especially this movie, the NFL could do. I mean, that whole replacement thing took place in the 80s. I mean, who cares right now?
Yeah. So let's ask an important question here. If you are a Sentinel season ticket holder and the strike happens and they call you, Jesus Christ, this fucking sideline performance, and they call you, like, how much would they have to lower ticket prices for you to come out?
I mean, if you're going to give lap dances at halftime, like right now, I mean, not too much.
Sideline show.
But what if you're sitting on like the other side of the field, like you can't even?
I would probably pay them for this.
Listen, I'm not. I mean, if you listen to the pod, I'm not going to wave the Bible in front of you and tell you how to live. But this isn't that far away from what the NFL does. In between every commercial break, there's some hot chick shaking her ass or tits in front of my face on my 50-inch Vizio. I mean, this isn't that ridiculous.
Buy the high def ones.
I'm fine with it. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, but 20 years ago, this is controversial.
So they just got like the whole strip club to come out.
I think we're going toward less sex in like 2020 than we were in the 90s.
I agree.
I think we're more aware.
Which is terrible. I'm not for that. I mean, bring out a presidential candidate that's like, hey, sex sells. We need to go back to that. And hey, you got my vote.
Sex sells is like the oldest marketing rule that exists.
I want a hot chick with fake tits eating a
They've been doing
cheeseburger
that
saying,
since
buy
60s.
this cheeseburger.
You say Banner? I think Banner's been having some connection issues
I
here.
think he's cutting out.
I think he's
Or
dead.
he just exited out
but
so
I'll
he
eat
could
it all the time.
masturbate.
Banner, we lost you for about 30 seconds.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember what I said other than I don't like Carl's Jr. It tears me up, but I eat it. There's one reason. And
Kate Upton.
love their commercials.
Now, Matt, what the fuck was that throw right there? I mean, we got a too high safety look. They didn't even have any deep routes.
Jeff, I love talking football with you, but hold on.
And if
Kate
you're gonna
Upton was on a
miss,
Hardee's
you can't
commercial.
miss high.
Banner, what?
Jeff, Kate Upton was on a Hardee's
Carl's
commercial?
Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like for a burger. She's like in a bikini and she's eating it, and like the sauce falls out onto her or something.
We need like a Bro Force squad. We'll be right back because we're masturbating. So I'm looking that up right now. That's got to be on YouTube.
30-second break. It's Hardee's or Carl's Jr.
Yeah, she's basically sucking it. Yeah, I can't.
It's the
They're
same company.
now.
That's
It's
not a
probably
late
Carl's
hit.
Jr.
That's not a late hit.
Not in the 90s.
God, it's a different time. Did you find it that quick?
Yeah,
Internet.
I'm watching it right
Look at
now.
that. Everything's at our fingertips. Do you remember how hard it was when we were kids to get porn? And now it's like kids are desensitized by the age of 12.
I could, if I was in 8th grade, I could jerk off to this. I mean, obviously, when I was in 8th grade, I didn't have.
Yeah,
I did.
when we were in 8th grade, we were watching fuzzy, like, stolen
HBO.
Cinemax.
Yeah. Nigel can do everything. Like, even the on
So she's showing her tits sweating in a car, eating a burger with jalapenos. Obviously, that's why she's sweating. Okay.
Look, I'm just saying, Nigel has the potential to make the actual team, not just the replacements, right?
Probably.
Like as a kicker, he can kick a 50-yard field goal. He nailed that onside kick.
Favreau was like doing what you do in NFL blitz when like you just want to run towards the safety so you can punch him in the face. Gotta let a
Sorry, I know we're watching a movie. I shouldn't be watching it, but Jeff brought it up. It's his fault.
That was that commercial's from like 2007, right? That was the first time
I had no clue that existed.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
That was like right when she was coming on the scene. She had just been an SI in the swimsuit edition.
See, kids, that's why you listen to Bro Force Squad. You can learn something new. I'm a goddamn host and a founder. I didn't even know that. So
how many people right now are pausing? They're like, "Hang on, I gotta fucking check out this.
I gotta fucking jerk off real quick."
Let's see if it's as hot as he says."
Do you think we're the highest viewed place on YouTube where they'll pause in the middle and go jerk off, then come back and listen to us? I can't think of another pod where that happens more than here.
What other pod encourages doing it?
Yeah.
Just
we haven't built in.
True.
You kidding me?
I don't care if you pause and come back. We still get the views. Fuck. I mean,
yeah, and if you comment below, we'll give you a shout out on the next one. If you pause our pod to jerk off and then comment that you did it, we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
it's
our promise.
weird, but promise is a promise. As the Joker says, I'm a man of my word. Fucking. Oh, my last fun fact. So Nigel kicks a 65-yard field goal right here. Sorry, slight spoiler.
3 yards longer than the record.
Yep, which Matt Prater had, I believe. And a little bit of an asterisk, Matt, as you know, because that ball was kicked in Denver, which where the altitude's a little bit.
Not really, because didn't he beat Jason Elam?
I think Prater's was also in Denver, though.
Okay, but Elam's had to have been in Denver, probably, because I thought he had the record for a while.
I could be wrong, but the fact I read, which again, the last one I read made me look like a fucking idiot about the Sugar Bowl. But I think Elam's was like 61.
No, it didn't at all. They just renamed it. And that happens all the time when it's the national championship.
Favreau actually looks mad here. Like he's not trying to celebrate. He's like, motherfucker, come here. I had the under. Me
and Thurman need to go because I've heard that my entire fucking life about Denver and altitude. Not that I don't believe it. I love science. I love reading about it, but I just need to see it. I'm a visual guy. So I need to go play golf out there because I've talked to so many people that are like, oh yeah, it's about a 2 club difference, which really interesting.
The only thing I can attest to, I've been hiking up there once at pretty high altitude, and
You just
you
got
lose
tired.
your breath pretty quick because like when you inhale, there's just no air.
Yeah, I went to a Colorado Oklahoma State game in Boulder, and I was walking up the hill to go to the stadium, and I was winded, and I was in
Yeah,
good shape. You remember that, Jeff? I
I
went for my
do.
birthday in college
Yeah, that was cool.
because you
That's
guys
why
bought me an expired birthday cake.
I was wondering why it was on sale. It's the thought that counts.
How does
Well,
cake
I'm not saying I
expire?
didn't eat it.
Oh, no one said that. Don't our Olympic athletes train in Denver because like it makes their lungs so much stronger?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Colorado
there's
Springs.
those face masks you can use that, I mean, now you just have to use a mask when you go to gym anyway, but I've been to Colorado Springs one time, but I was like 4, so obviously I didn't have an
You did
Apple
some
Watch
serious
checking my
training.
breathing pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
I wasn't doing serious mountain climbing training like you all, so I don't really remember it.
so the bar aesthetic here, the theme is kind of like your kitchen because it has the tile
Yeah.
that like you would see in like Rocky's kitchen. Nothing's more
I mean,
bro
she
than
seems
helping.
like quite a catch. She's a second-rate cheerleader that works at a struggling sports bar where she probably gets hit on all the time by, I mean, what's not to like?
What's more bro than helping her clean up as she's on the closing shift? Yeah, let me just
God.
set these
Look, the things
glasses over here.
the things a replacement quarterback will do for pussy.
Did he just drink someone else's beer that they left there?
Jeff, it was the 90s. Yes.
This is way before we learned about germs.
Dude,
We're
Keanu has
just
not aged like
living free and dying hard.
Keanu's like Benjamin Button. He's getting better as he gets older.
Can we give Keanu, and this chick is cute, don't get me wrong, but can we give Keanu a girl with actually like long, beautiful blonde or brunette hair? I mean, it's fucking first it's Point Break, now it's this girl. Like, god damn it.
He's like, yeah, if I play a quarterback, I have to
He's
fuck a
got a
girl with
type.
hair shorter than me. That's the only rule.
I guess so.
God, the 90s where you had to have like 3 layers of clothing on before you could even consider leaving the house. Right, jacket, shirt unbuttoned over the top for some reason, and of course,
In the summer in Baltimore.
kiss on the cheek. That's not what she wants, dude.
Keanu in this, I will say, for the movie, what it is, does a really good job acting. And you
Keanu does a
can't
good job
say that
acting
about
all the
every
time.
Keanu movie.
You know what's funny though, as I've gone back and watched like some of his roles that people make fun of him for, I'm like, does he actually suck, or is that just like his thing?
I mean, The Matrix is hard to watch. Point Break, which we will honestly fight someone to the death if they say that movie is terrible, but him in that, like, he's actually really trying, which is scary.
What if he's like, sorry, I
But
left my wallet, so I just want to grab it. Oh, Pat Summerall narrating. Wow, this is like when Dave Chappelle's at the club and they make it like a NFL films.
I forgot about this.
This is pretty cheesy.
It's true though, using sports references, like you want to score with the chick.
Guys, this doesn't feel like a one night stand. I feel like this could be something more.
I know. They could get married for at least 3 years before they get divorced. I mean,
Ooh,
this
you know,
has legs to go the distance.
yeah, 100%. That's
God,
the.
I love those away jerseys.
I was
Those
gonna
are
say,
sick.
I was shitting on the uniforms, but now we have the whites and Madden on the telestrator. Let's fuck it.
Mm.
You're gonna draw a dick.
My worst like study in school ever was science and biology. If Madden was there on the telestrator, I guarantee I get an A because I always paid attention when he did this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved it. They don't. That's another thing, Jeff. That Monday Night Football, I know, struggling. They're trying to get back. They need to bring this. It's so 90s and so dated, but it'd be so cool to see, like the telestrator.
Well, now it's an embarrassment of riches, right? They have like all the cool graphics. No, man, I want the fucking dude with his finger.
I want the finger.
I remember
thing.
back in the
like
day before they had like the first down line,
Oh,
and it'd be close, and you're like, "Oh my God, was that it?" And now you're like, "Well, I know the line's there," instead of them being like 6 yards short.
Yeah, how did we watch football before that first down line? God.
Is this when they put
those
the
jerseys almost look
glue on his hand?
orange, like blue and orange.
Yeah, this is the glue scene, which again, every movie, just like Little Giants, you have the fast receiver who can't catch, so you got to put wax on him. The line right here is great where he says, "Coach, I look like I just jacked off an elephant."
Do you know why Stickum was banned?
Because it's illegal? I mean, it's like
Fun
unfair
fact.
advantage.
Well, it was Lester Hayes from the Raiders used to fucking cake his things with it. So, and he wasn't a receiver; he's a defensive back, and it was just kind of like pine tar and stuff. And after a while, they just finally just said you can't fucking use it. It used to not be banned from the NFL.
This is, and then he claps right.
Throw the cup.
And I think it gets stuck on
Now,
his
though,
chest.
I think, and I've played with some of these at Dick's Sporting Goods, but I think some of the receiver gloves are like as good as Stickum.
Oh, like they should be
Oh, yeah.
unfair also.
Yeah, I mean,
Look,
there's
if I
no
put a
way,
receiver glove on, I can palm a basketball.
there's
yeah.
no way you should be able to catch it with one hand from a jugs machine like some of those receivers do. I don't care how fucking good they are.
I mean, he wasn't even open there. He threw him open.
They called that
Through
a
that
touchdown
window,
before he
Jeff.
had 2 feet down.
Can we
This
say
is-
one thing about the away jerseys, though? The numbers look like they're in orange, and the helmet should be blue and red.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do need blue helmets. I'd agree with that.
They're going for the win. Going for 2.
You have to go for the win. You go for the win when you're on the road.
That's
Fly
where he
cross.
scored the touchdown. The coach holds up 2 fingers just to be a
Mhm.
fucking stud.
Yeah, he's not even excited about the touchdown. All right, guys, we got a shallow
Phoenix.
cross. 91 protection.
Okay, I don't know what Phoenix is. They look like they have the Rams helmets or something, but these teams are playing. Their uniforms suck.
I was kind of digging the San Diego's helmets.
Was that the gold team?
Yeah,
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
Spartan
those are-
helmet.
Oh, I love
I mean,
this.
I'll start this off, and then you guys can go around the horn. But the worst sports uniforms ever in movie history is Any Given Sunday. The Miami Sharks would never wear all black from August to September in fucking Miami when it's 120 degrees outside.
With
There's no way.
89%
You die.
humidity.
Yeah. I mean, the Oakland Raiders, it makes sense. You're playing in Northern California where, I mean, it's probably at most like 89 degrees for maybe 5 weeks of your season, but not
Yeah.
Miami. That makes no sense.
I'm gonna say the worst jerseys in sports movie history haven't even come out yet, and that is LeBron
Oh
James'
my
new Toon
God.
Squad jerseys.
Wow, what a trope that is.
Ugh.
You can tell which locker's Nigel's because there's 6 Bud Heavies in the top of it.
What do you think, Banner?
Hang brain out there.
What do you mean? What do I think? I think those are awful. Both of those.
Do you have one, though?
It's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough one to just put me on the spot like that.
Don't, just as long as you don't say the Cucumbas from Hardball. Why? Another great Keanu Reeves
No.
movie. Check out our commentary on
No,
that.
that's like
He's
one of the
in
best
that
ones.
too. He's actually in a lot of movies that people don't even understand. He actually never had about a 5-year lull in his career. He was always in something.
Dude, Nigel is incredible. Nigel
Is Nigel about to get nominated for the Broforce Squad Hall of Fame?
Dude, Whitey
I don't know,
Titans
man.
and
He's just like you. So
Maybe
probably
not first ballot, but he's getting in.
Whitey Tighties and his helmet back on while he drinks a beer in the locker room. I mean, that's pretty, bro.
So this owner is probably moxied after Jerry Jones, I would say. Someone that drinks a
100%.
lot, has the fake wife, but he's banging 23-year-olds on the side,
Oh,
allegedly.
are you kidding? He's in love with her.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
can't
pictures of
prove
him getting a
anything.
blowjob in a bathroom from a slutty, like, 30-year-old. But
Look,
okay.
even
Matt,
in
you can
2000, they had Photoshop.
Yeah, you can edit
Oh,
anything
you've
to look
never
like
dropped
anything.
your phone and had to go down on all fours and get it? Okay, sorry.
Man, I saw this one photo where a guy made it look like he was Godzilla destroying Tokyo. I mean, you can do anything on the computer.
Yeah. It's insane what you can do with word shop nowadays.
Why is it that old dudes like pull their pants up super high? Like because now look at this pant legs are like above his ankles. Like there's a reason the pants are the length they are. You wear the waist at your waist.
Have you noticed kids they're wearing like the Clark Griswold from the First Vacation shorts that are like clear up their nuts? Like that's the style now with kids.
I thought it
It's
was
weird.
ironic at first, but now I think they're actually just being
I,
serious.
I mean, I don't want baggy shorts, but I want them like to cover half my kneecap when I'm
So
standing up.
the owner just told him, "Hey, the guys are going to cross the picket line, and obviously we're going to replace your whole team with our real players."
This goes to the thing I would think the most closest you can compare this to is when Dak went 13-3 and then Romo is healthy and you're going to the playoffs. Like you got to go with what's working. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
But their replacement team, like every other team, is going to bring back their real guys. So it would be like if Dak got replaced with Stephen McGee.
That's probably a bad analogy, right? So it's not even Dak Prescott. I mean, Dak Prescott's, he's a fourth-round quarterback, but he shouldn't have been. So,
right.
Yeah, it would have been someone that was undrafted.
What the coach should have done is he should have tried to just argue to keep playing Falco, you know?
Because in this movie, every team they played had replacement players too?
Yeah, the whole league was on strike.
Okay, then that makes no sense. You got to bring back the whole team.
The reason Martell is significant, like their quarterback, is he's either like the head of the PA or he's like the biggest superstar in the league.
Yeah.
So if he crosses the picket line, then they're like, all right, probably everybody else will.
It's like, Coach, I'll be fine. I got this chick. She's a bartender, so she's pretty well off.
And
she's probably fucking other guys, but
and she doesn't even just like me because I'm a football player. So I think we're still going to be like a thing. Oh, Shane, honey. Sweetie.
And I also have my boat. You know, the ocean's not going anywhere. Hopefully.
Last I checked. Plus, my dad actually reached out. He said he wants to reconnect as long as I'm starting Sunday. I am starting Sunday, right?
It's weird. I haven't heard from him forever. I didn't even think he knew who I was, but since I am on, ABC every Sunday.
He said he had my number the whole time, so it's kind of just weird that he forgot to reach out to me. But
also great seeing the quarterback alone in the locker room, it's kind of pondering.
And Falco likes to sit in places where no one is and just think about his life. The classic douchebag speech where you think he's actually apologizing.
I think it's terrible what they did to you guys. I mean, they bring you in, they know you're not worth a dick, and then they just ship you out. It's terrible. It makes me sick.
It's terrible they did that to you. Obviously, my actions and the things I've done have no effect on, your situation. Not like you're losing your job because I came back.
Speaking of conditioner, Martell is on point here with his hair.
He's using PEDs for his hair, man. You don't get that kind of body.
Yeah, you can't even compare. Keanu has great hair, but Martell's right now is like, it's like Brock Lesnar against that Samoan dude when Lesnar was just roided out of his fucking gills on UFC. It's not even a fair fight.
Martell talking about the cheerleader, like she deserves better. She's a nice lady, but let's just objectively look at this. Does she deserve better? She's a bartender / part-time cheerleading coach. All the greatest things about her life, she actually hasn't done yet. Like she might go to med school or might skip the fucking. Okay, that's great, but when you do those things, then you can be evaluated on them. You haven't done them yet. Wait, Nigel Gruff drinks?
The movie makes her seem like she hasn't had sex with a lot of people, which is fine.
Everybody has hobbies.
You have a pretty face.
She just goes straight to like, yeah, I'll suck your dick, and he's like, okay.
Do people do that anymore? Remember
Suck
that used to be
sure.
like, no, that like
I wish so.
the tongue in your mouth thing that reference sucking dick. I haven't seen that in literally 25 years.
Yeah. Did he just whip his dick out at the bar? God, this would be all over TMZ the next day.
Dude, let me
No
ask you guys
fun league,
this.
Jeff. No fun league.
Do you guys, is there anything that TMZ puts out that you guys don't believe? They are
No.
they get everything right eventually. Like, if they put it out, you know it's going to be right. And they find everything.
Yeah, their sources are because their source is like anyone. Anyone technically could work for TMZ if you just send in the fucking photos.
Yeah.
The chain Nigel Gruff has is insane.
I love that they incorporated him in this because I love the Green Street hooligan European guy that's into football that just drinks and smokes. And because in America, people are like, dude, you got to be a finely tuned athlete. But in England, they're like, dude, we don't give a fuck as long as you win. It's just all it is. Orlando Jones has no shirt on at a club. That's awesome.
It's respect right there.
That receiver just has his fucking shirt off. He's like already a prima donna. Why do they act like it's like a fucking quinceanera? They have like a handmade banner, like "Good job, Sentinel, still an NFL team."
Can I say something without sounding like racist?
Probably not, but let's
Probably
try it.
not, but
Okay.
go for it.
Well, the free safety dancing with the slutty white cheerleader, that's just a ticking Me Too time bomb. I'm just gonna fucking say it. And I'm not saying who's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's gonna be at
disagree
least
with
10
you.
games.
I disagree with
At
you.
least 10 games, Banner.
Nope, I disagree with you. She's a stripper. She knows what she's getting into. She accepts the life.
Matt, I see this as a Kobe Bryant situation.
Yeah.
I mean, once we actually start digging a little deeper on her, we're kind of saying,
But the Kobe Bryant chick narked, so I don't know what you're. I mean, it was still brought up.
It can be brought up, but that investigation proved that she was, let's just say, not the most conservative woman.
You had to drag Vanessa out there and be like, I didn't force her to do anything against her will. It's like, that was the most awkward press conference ever. Because I'm like, so your wife's cool with this?
Well, it's funny because he's like, yeah, I committed adultery. They're like, oh, you didn't rape her? He's like, what? No.
That's disgusting.
I fucked her.
I'm fucking Kobe Bryant.
Like,
no.
Seen this chick? No, you can't. No. You can't say I raped her. You can't no-show her, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Look, at this point, you're not an NFL quarterback anymore. She's your only shot at getting laid now.
See, the candles guys are a
And
metaphor.
you stand her up? Why?
Yeah. Matt, he's not emotionally ready, or he doesn't emotionally deserve her. One of the two.
She can do better than him, and he knows it.
Again, she's hot, but I don't think she's like some catch, you know?
I'd take like 16 of those stripper cheerleaders before I took her.
Jeff, he lives on a boat.
Hell, I might take Favreau before I take her.
It's Monday Night Football.
I love, yeah, remember when that used to
Nextel
be a big deal?
Damn.
It used to be the game of the week. They're like, man, Monday Night Football. Now we're just like,
now they're 40-point
1-10
blowouts.
versus 3-6. Pass.
They couldn't even keep Falco as like the backup. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Oh, I remember his halftime speech in this game. It's awesome. Dude, this is a 2-hour movie, but it's fun. There's only 20 minutes left.
Flacco's pounding beers right now, right?
I mean, Brian, he's had a few. He wants to relax and watch the game. Is that okay? Okay, so let's go through like sports movies, coolest jerseys you want to own now. I want an Adam Banks Hawks jersey, not with the Ducks.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll take that. A Cucumbas.
G-Baby Cucumbas jersey is like the coolest one you could possibly own. Would you put Falco up there too?
No, because these are ugly as fuck.
You know, guy.
Maybe the away.
The road jerseys aren't. Are you talking, Jeff? It has to be a fictitious jersey. Like you can't have Billy Haywood twins.
I was gonna say no, you can. It has to be fictitious, but I could see Geiger showing up to a costume party as Eddie Martell, this quarterback. Like Eddie Martell,
and like only 2 people would get it, but I'm like, I just want only a couple people to get it, so I like it.
It's worth it if one person gets it.
I'm like, but not Shane Falco. You're like, dude, Eddie Martell was all pro that year. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, talk about defending a villain. I'm just saying.
I don't know,
He's
Brian.
the best quarterback in the league, okay? He deserves to be paid.
But this is not the right system for him.
Hold on, Jeff. I'll answer your question in a second. I just got to look up one thing. Okay.
Oof.
I want a Gary Bertier, remember the Titans, and I'm going to show up in a wheelchair.
Jesus
Christ.
It wasn't real, so chill out.
He never would have worn the jersey while in the wheelchair, though. Honestly, it's kind of
he won like Special Olympics things
for like discus. Yeah, it's kind of on him, guys. He wasn't paying attention to that car. Ugh, this is what I told you, Matt. They cannot stop the run on the goal line.
These jerseys aren't bad. The away team, it looks kind of like Chicago Bears. The numbers and stuff. It's not that bad.
Yeah, these ones are fine. These actually kind of look like color scheme wise the Sharks from Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Is this team from Dallas, I believe?
Probably. They always play Dallas at the end. Now he's about to scream at the deaf guy. Great look. I said 91, not 90.
This is one of the greatest. I mean, this fits right in line. We need sports. I know we've done action movie bingo, but we need sports movie bingo because this is where your best player or your savior, whoever's going to win the game, isn't even there.
Yep.
For some reason. Shows up at halftime. Maybe I could be a sum of assistance, and then basically you're down 40 and somehow win by 10.
Yeah.
On the last play.
He's down, dude. That's not a fumble.
No shit.
That's targeting these days, again. Right?
Oh, yeah. That guy's suspended.
Even Vincent Burfict is like, wow, that was fucked up, yo.
Montez Burfict.
Can't do that, man. That's fucked up.
Former Raider great.
Matt, if that guy's a safety, maybe he is Cam Chancellor because he's got torched in man coverage.
I didn't say he was a cover safety. I'm saying that he just plays center and picks off stuff and maybe knocks people down.
Yeah, I mean, how do you let him man up on the slot receiver?
No shit.
Bad coaching.
Well, they're playing Dallas. Okay. And then there's like a cowboy on their helmet.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Nigel Gruff, those bookies are here for him.
I wonder if there is a Martell jersey.
Dude,
sure find one.
I think it was Holy Bud once that sent us that website that has all the movie jerseys.
Oh, what about I can't remember what the fucking team was, but number K9 from Air Bud. That'd be a cool.
The Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves.
Yeah, Timberwolves.
And they're blue and gold.
But see, that's cool, but you got to be like the kid on the team who the coach was like throwing the passes at his face. That's the jersey you need.
Yeah.
You
got to have an orange peel in your sock.
Yeah. You need to have like a more.
I remember the one scene where they threw him a pass and he caught the ball and the coach acted like he made a 3-pointer with 2 seconds left to win the game. It was like that does nothing at all. It's not like football. It's like if you catch the ball in basketball, it's really not that big a deal.
God, you know that this is a movie because TBS is telecasting a football game.
Which makes no sense. Like, what is this, a play-in game to March Madness?
How much did they pay to be in this movie?
More than they were willing to pay for actual fucking football.
It's the AFC Championship game. If you want the NFC, tune in to True TV next.
It is on tape delay, though. What? Fuck.
This is a great speech right here.
This guy doesn't even make sense. Like, who do you think is going to side with? You're losing. That's like your.
He's like, I was on my boat and I saw the game. Thought I could be some assistance.
And I'm
the classic
I'm 5 beers deep, so you know I'm primed and ready to go.
The classic line, Falco, what took you so goddamn long? Suit up.
What took you so goddamn long? Suit up. Get in there. Which
Yes,
begs
sir.
the question, yeah, why? I think Jeff, why isn't he the backup? I mean, who knows the playbook better than him? Like, it makes no
We
fucking
could have
sense.
just brought him in the end of the first quarter. I mean,
Coaches bring fucking quarterbacks that are so washed up into camp because they know my playbook. They know how to run my system. You got
Their
a
locker room
quarterback
guys.
that is, what, 3-1 right now? And you don't even have him in the fucking locker room as a backup or a third string? Makes no
Matt
goddamn
Schaub
sense.
and Mark Brunell are at home like, yeah, dude, that doesn't make sense. You could easily get Joe. Trust me.
All of the McCoy brothers, or McCown, sorry.
God.
McCown brothers.
Probably 17 of them.
I was drunk enough one night at the bar where I described to somebody how Josh McCown could lead the Raiders to a 10-6 record. We could win a wild card, and it actually kind of made sense.
Okay, so I obviously love this that Shane Falco comes in, but let's talk about the logistics. This guy's not on your roster. There's no fucking way you can do this.
No shit.
Like, you definitely released him. They've called Roger
So this would be
Goodell.
like when the
back.
San Francisco 49ers release Alden Smith because of a lot of stuff. And then he shows up at halftime with a helmet, and they're like, he can't play. He's not on your roster.
Of course,
Like,
he knows how
I'm
to
sorry I
break
didn't show up last night. It's okay. You're a quarterback again. I'm into you.
Oh my
Awesome.
God.
Do we
Let's make
trust
out.
her?
Let's have sex.
Do we trust her? She said they're playing zone. I don't trust her. She just wants his dick.
How can you tell what they're playing? They've just sacked the fucking quarterback every play. God, what a fucking G, bro. You see, I want to show up with like one of the lineman jerseys. At
I
Halloween,
played
let's not.
sports my whole life, and I never really liked sports. You just get chicks doing it, so might as well, just like Flacco.
You don't even have to be good at it.
No, not really. Just be kind of decent, be on the
Honestly,
team. You got a
Most
shot.
of the chicks that fuck you just because you're an athlete aren't like they could watch the sport and not really know if you're doing well or
Yeah,
not.
they don't even know. If you went over 4, they don't care. They don't even know.
I saw you caught those 2 fly balls. It's like, oh yeah, those cans of corn and
They're hit right to me. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
also playing soccer, so that's a weird
Yeah,
reference.
so
but
I
I
actually shouldn't be
agree.
using my hands at all. It's completely against the rules.
The
Yeah.
kid on the sideline looked like Chase Daniel relaying the plays, and I think it is Chase Daniel since he's like a career backup.
Even then, he was a backup. This classic movie trope. It's funny that they just got 60 yards of penalties and everyone's.
Yeah, that's awesome because that would happen, and then no one would get thrown out of the game.
It's funny because the ref can't. So they basically just gave up their first possession.
This would be another one on sports movie bingo. The illegal play or the hidden ball trick or something that never
some
fucking
trick
works.
play.
It's never been done.
Yeah, something, just anything like egregiously illegal. And of course,
Now,
it's what, 1st and 80, they'll get it. Screen, obviously.
They'll pick it up.
They would go all out.
No fucking way.
Matt, on 1st and 80, you don't go all out blitz on the other team's 2.
No shit.
98.
Like, you're not trying to get a safety. You're just trying not to get a first down. That's all you're trying to do.
They need to get
That's an
80.
ACL right there.
Yeah, that's his old knee injury.
Yeah.
Nah, don't worry. John Voight's coming out of the 5th row. He's going to shoot him up. He'll play next quarter.
Don't do it.
Worry.
Don't let him do it.
Check out our Varsity Blues movie commentary.
I forgot we did Varsity Blues.
I did too.
You, Jeff. Yeah.
Great one.
Did we do
Never
blue chips
forget.
or did we just do a review on that?
Just a
We
review.
need to do Blue Chips.
Yeah,
We
we
haven't done
need
a
to-
commentary.
And I'm pretty sure if you go back to a review, no one tell MGM, but we illegally used one of their clips from the movie at the beginning of the review.
Maybe
It's
we'll
that
do it
scene
for
where
next year's March Madness. Fucking God willing, it'll happen.
we've done a Sixth Man review also.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'd
don't
never
need to do
seen
a
Six Man,
Fair on that, though.
so Geiger had me watch it.
You know, our former basketball coach is in it
Yeah,
as an actor.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Travis Ford.
The red-haired dude. That's a hold, Matt. We got to call that, right?
Jeff, there's holding on every play.
That I do remember. It's
Practice.
funny you say that. In the
Full
game
season.
Madden, that's one of the recorded things Madden says. You know, holding's
but
one of those things.
First off, no, there's not. I don't think.
No, I agree. And that means that if they call it, it's probably so fucking bad.
I mean, there's egregious holding, and then some people hold. I mean, there's a trick to it so the refs don't see it and stuff, but there's not holding on every play.
This is great. Give him the ball. He's going to jail after this game. Oh, okay.
It's all fun. Doesn't matter. We won't worry about that for another 20 years. So let's just have fun with it.
So how was he? Was he on like work release? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he just do that before the strike?
Well, because they didn't need a running back before the strike.
Yeah. I don't
Plays
know,
both
Jeff.
ways.
Why don't you run for Senate and find out? Who cares? It doesn't matter. He's here now. He's doing great.
We got a lot. We got
He's
a lot of
only
guys.
raped like maybe 2.5 chicks. Doesn't even matter.
What's the half? A midget or like an underage girl?
It's just not.
Underage midget is what it was.
Yeah.
Isn't it so funny that the lineman is number 69?
And also that he keeps taking off his helmet so you know it's Keanu Reeves, even though that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, if that was still a rule, they would just be. For what?
For what?
Dude,
On who?
we have got to cut these blitzers, guys. It's too easy right now.
Lots
So
of
this
flipping
guy
into the
can
end
just
zone.
catch now.
Yeah, he's got the best hands in the league. I also read another fun fact. I didn't put it in here, but they filmed a lot of this in Annapolis, Maryland, where the Naval Academy is. So a lot of the extras in the stands are members of the Naval Academy.
That's cool.
Yeah, they had them like all come out a couple days. They're on defense now. Did he score on that play?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
thought I
flipped
got
in the
stuck.
end zone.
Didn't know that. They got to paint the end zone a different color. It's like this white that I can't even tell. Looks like the grass almost.
It's like Notre
the
Dame. You can barely tell what's a.
Does the NFL have those? I don't know what you call them. Those tart coats anymore. I love those. Like
One,
with
like
your
the big
team
gas
emblem
ones
on
that
them.
the quarterbacks wear to keep them warm.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always see Rogers with him.
Okay. I
I always remember Chad Ochocinco wearing one.
So these guys are here because he lost a bet and he owes them money, right?
Yeah.
What's their plan to collect in the middle of the game? Like, I don't understand.
Well, see, they actually have a big. They took Dallas with the points here, so he needs to miss this
Yeah.
field goal.
Got it.
Anybody with sports knowledge on this game took Dallas with the points. I mean, this is just basically a fucking
no-brainer.
begging
Yeah,
backdoor
because
cover.
Martell hasn't played in weeks. You know, like it's a trap game.
Yeah.
Pissed it all away, Shane.
On the track again.
He owns a pub. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Nigel Gruff's pub would be a place to fucking party.
That's something that the Broforce squad will probably cash in all of our YouTube money just so we could all fly over there and just drink at. And maybe do one movie commentary that we don't even record and then
Green
tell you all
Street
how great it
Ticket.
was.
Banner will be like, we forgot to hit record at the very end.
It was one time, guys. Okay.
And our wives won't let us do it again. So, what a great play by Falco.
Yeah. That's just being a leader. That's what that
The
is.
John Elway flip at the end.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty sure Nigel Gruff is fucked up though, because he did not know he was going to pull the ball.
Oh yeah, no, he's dead.
I'm not a Broncos fan at all, but that's not talked enough. That flip was so fucking awesome. He did.
Why would you call timeout on a dead ball? Clock's not running.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Have you coached as many games as Gene Hackman? He's coached 2. How many have you coached?
0. Fuck.
And he's coached like 10 basketball games. So
Yeah,
That's true.
he coached Hoosiers in here. I don't think you need to play Monday morning quarterback with Gene Hackman. He'll get owned.
What if Dennis Hopper shows up drunk as his assistant coach, and he's like, "Well, this worked last time." Free to get
If that happened, it would just remind me of WCW when they just recycle
Oh my
old
God,
storylines.
it's
to the
Dennis
wrestler. It'd be
Hopper!
great.
It's
Here
Dennis
comes
Hopper,
Dennis Hopper from the crowd with the chair.
and he's drank a 5th of whiskey. It's like, what? How do you know that?
We need to do a Hoosiers movie commentary. I think we could murder that. That's such a stereotypical sports movie.
I want to do
with
now
the
that-
hands in at the
'Cause
end of the
isn't that
huddle.
Chitwood's dad, right?
What?
Isn't Hopper Chitwood's dad who's drunk?
No, he's that other kid's dad, the one who gets like smashed through the glass.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Just because I remember the guy's like embarrassed, like my dad's fucking
Yeah.
drunk. Man.
Okay, yeah.
But
I
his
think
dad's
Chitwood's
also-
dad's out of the picture.
He'll come back once if he gets a scholarship. Kansas.
So this is to go up by 15, right?
What is this a 2-point conversion or what is no? Because the touchdown got called back, and they don't have a kicker because Gruff broke his arm.
Which you don't need your arm to kick, you fucking pussy.
It's
No
true.
shit.
Although Falco's like, "Fuck, man! If I would have known we were gonna hold, I would just let you kick the field goal."
Yeah, I would have saved my energy.
How do you hold on a fake field goal? Like, because you think they're kicking the field goal, you would never grab anyone anyway.
Isn't that weird that that's Roy from The Office and he literally didn't do anything for, what does The Office come out? 2012?
2004, I thought, right?
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
could be wrong. I
Okay.
thought it ended
But
in, like-
still, like 4 or 5 years and then he gets booked as that. Which obviously is not that big a role. We didn't know that show was going to be that huge, but
I bet a
Nice
lot of these guys
spiral.
are a bunch of show pilots and then they don't pan out. Look at this. This is a corner route. Oh, great fucking ball, Shane.
good ball.
I guess we don't have a safety over the top on like 4th and 30.
We-
Makes sense.
We all have that friend that played freshman high school football that when you watch a fucking football game with, he always says good ball.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was me.
Yeah. That guy's me because I'm a fucking stud and I played freshman high school
I actually
football.
saw him beat a guy with a starfish once. That's ridiculous. That guy was me. That assistant coach, the really fat one, is in something else too, but I don't know.
So what's Martell doing right now?
Blow for sure.
Yeah.
Is he just in the locker room?
He's
or is
probably
he-
flipping Falco's car over.
I was gonna
again.
say, based on how obsessed he is with Shane Falco, he's probably waiting outside his like fucking.
Wow.
FD.
Did anyone else catch that?
No.
No.
We're talking about product placement. Did you see that all sport
Sport?
fucking
Oh,
God.
Gatorade bath? They just
You know,
whatever
so
happened to all sport? It
Dude,
only
All-
had like 80 grams of sugar. Who cares?
and it was like carbonated Gatorade, so you couldn't even like chug it if you were thirsty.
but it was
tastes like
delicious.
ass.
You ever look at like
Let's
the
just
back
have
of a?
sex on the field. Okay,
Yeah.
Shane.
You don't even have to use a condom. I don't even know what those are, so that's good.
With
Uh,
every pump, we can move the ball forward a yard.
We got to the 4-yard line. We're gonna have to
Gene
punt.
Hackman was like, "This is why I coach. What, to win a championship? No, so my quarterback can fuck a skanky chick that's a bartender. That's
On
why I
the
coach."
50-yard line.
So this is like when like
I
the
can
dad.
watch.
This is like when like the dad leaves and his kid turns 18 and he's famous and he comes back home to now he wants to be involved with him because the team just made the playoffs. So now all the actual players are gonna cross the picket line. Like, oh well, I mean we'll play in the playoffs, yeah.
Did
What's great is this?
did the actual replacements that played for Washington, did they win any games? I don't remember.
I'll have to rewatch 30 for 30. I don't think so.
I'd be
I don't remember.
shocked if they did, right?
At least this team, though, Jeff, they have a chance in the playoff. It's not like Rookie of the Year, where like, okay, the Cubs are going to the World Series. Let's think about this. Their ace, Chet Steadman, arm is gone. He's done. He can't pitch. Their stud closer, who's a kid, who's the heart and soul of their team, can't fucking throw a ball unless underhand, so he's gone. So what chance do they have in the World Series? This actually makes sense. Like, they have a chance in the playoffs. They could do something.
Is the coach just gonna quit when the real players come back? He's like, "Well, I didn't fucking sign up for this. I don't want to coach."
Yeah, I mean, he didn't. Those weren't his guys. That's not his system.
They're like, "Well, you can coach like
he's
an
made his point.
actual NFL playoff game. I don't want that."
All right, that was the replacements. Final thoughts.
I mean, would you guys classify this as like more of a comedy movie or like a straight up sports movie? Because it wasn't as funny as I remember it, but that doesn't mean I didn't like it.
I think it's a sports movie. I think it's more of a sports movie than a comedy. I think there were funny parts in it, but I feel like you have to have that in any sports movie.
Yeah, I remembered it more like Major League, where it's almost like a straight up comedy. But this was, I don't want to say more serious, but it was more like plot driven. But I mean, this is like one of my favorite football movies.
I feel like there was a lot more actual playing time of the sport in this movie than there are in a lot of other sport movies.
Good point. I'd say like a third of it.
Most of the time, other sport movies are very heavy in the third act, where this had pretty much solid football throughout the entire movie. We had a bar fight scene, so that's a good thing.
I'll have to agree with Banner, especially historically. I think this is basically just taking the ties off the scab players. There's a lot of football in this, and the football that you saw was believable. That's the biggest point. I mean, we kind of gave shit like, okay, there's a new quarterback, they're gonna run like a halfback dive or whatever, but there's no like a dog fucking kicking a ball 35 yards or something stupid like that. It's real football. So I have to agree with Banner. This is a sports movie for sure. Absolutely. This is a good football
totally
movie. There's actually not
gonna...
very many good football movies.
Totally realistic that he throws a ball straight at the middle linebacker's head and it flies up. Lineman catches it, runs it 40 yards for a touchdown. See it every week.
Marcus Mariota threw a touchdown pass to himself in the playoffs. So crazy.
That's actually happened. A ball's been tipped and the offensive lineman has caught it and usually goes down, but that could happen. There's no like, other than them like drop kicking the one time to get the 20-yard penalty. That's the only thing I would consider like a rookie of the year stupid ass, like that could never happen. But I would put this up. I think Major League is to the T a fucking baseball movie. Like all of that has happened before. Like that's all. Jeff, would you back me on that? Like that all is like true. Like life on the road. The pitcher that has a little bit of control issues that gets it like lined out
and then fucking
everything,
the guy's wife. That happens.
Yeah,
literally probably once a year. We just don't hear about it all the time.
Happened with Golden Tate, your boy.
Yeah, he broke up our fucking team because of it. But, you know.
Sorry.
So, guys, real quick before we end, on the credits right now, there's two guys who got to play drunk number 1 and drunk number 2. That's a cool
That
role.
could be us someday.
I know. We play our cards right. Fuck.
If we get our podcast big enough,
prepared
hopefully that one day will be
entire
us.
life.
Yeah, we're method actors, so that's why we're drinking now to get ready for this call's going to come in.
It will. For sure. All right, guys, that was the replacements. We've been the Broforce Squad.
I've been practicing for years.
Check out all of our shit. Banner, do you want to actually close it, or can I close it as you?
Guys, we've been the Broforce Squad podcast. You guys can check us out on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere that's here on YouTube. And
Our banner is freezing. We're on Spotify.
Yeah, okay.
go ahead and comment below. You can follow us on Twitter at broforcesquad.com.
I'll put everything in the description. Just go click on that stuff.
Don't you worry. If you're listening to us right now,